Elijah.
This is Charles, man.
This is James.
And we got a little NBA free agency podcast for y'all today.
Just switch controllers.
Yeah, there's been some interesting free agency, you know. France and Minnesota? What?
Another cool thing about France is he's not even top 10 jersey sales in his own country.
Who is?
That's crazy.
I'm going to pull up the list because I saw it on Twitter the other day.
It's not Victor.
And for France, we're talking about Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. You know, what's his face? There's a different type of hawk. Have you ever heard of the Murray hawk? There's a new species of brewing.
I'm still stuck on the whole jersey. Is it Tony Parker? Or is it? It's not even an active player?
No, it's active players. Top 10 jersey sales in France. Stephen Curry, John Morant, Jimmy Butler, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Tyler Hero, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid.
That's tough.
So we can't play 21?
No, just play one-on-one.
Okay.
We're going to take turns playing one-on-one, guys, while we talk about this crazy free agency. Like, you want to start off with the
It
Hawks?
hasn't been that crazy. Or you can start with
It has absolutely been crazy.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the world requested a trade,
I mean, we haven't seen anything yet.
but he requested a trade.
I mean, yeah, we gotta see how it happens, or how it pans out. But what else? What's been happening right now? Okay.
Basically, I guess we can save KD and Kyrie for last because that's been the biggest news, basically. But talk about the Murray in Atlanta.
I think who they got rid of? They got Gallo.
Gallinari and
They got
first round
Gallo
picks.
and picks. I think that does a lot to like Dejounte Murray is a good defender. I haven't really seen a lot of him.
He's a great defender.
I haven't seen a lot of him. I know him and Pirtle are really good defenders. He's a all-star. And to see someone paired with Trae Young that's a good defender, that can is he a good spot shooter?
No,
Okay.
but he's gonna make Trae Young's life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because Trae Young doesn't have to create his own shot all the time now.
So
Dejounte Murray is more like a. Dejounte Murray is really probably the point guard of the team now, and Trae is the shooting guard. Because Dejounte Murray every game is close to triple double. Like he averaged probably like 28 and 8. Like it was nothing. Because he's actually on my fantasy team, so there's a lot of games where he had 28 and 15 and 20, 13 and 11. Like he definitely was great this past season. For the Spurs, this trade was more about their rebuilding. So next year,
Yeah, because you can't really have a cap with Dejounte. I don't want him to.
and they're really hunting for that 7-foot monster in France, Victor,
Wembanyama.
who's easily going to be the number 1 pick next year. And basically, you're going to see a lot of teams this year just tanking for him. What's your thoughts on the Hawks and Spurs, James?
I thought it was crazy that they're able to get this backcourt of Murray and Trae. I really want to see how it works. A bunch of people on Twitter were having this comment where it's like they're both are going to fight for 10 assists a game, which I found just hilarious. But
It's not the toughest shot challenge, y'all.
no, I'm just really excited to see how both of them will pair, and then I definitely agree with you in regarding the whole who's going to play the point and who's going to play shooting guard. It's going to be very interesting, just because Trae is hella short for being a 2 guard, so I want to see how he matches up with.
I mean, he's still going to guard ones.
Yeah, but still.
It's still going to be, to me, in my opinion, not to cut you off, but in my opinion, he's still it's still gonna be like he's the point guard, but like Dejounte Murray is just gonna like have the ball more bringing the ball up the court and stuff. In my opinion, he's gonna be like LeBron being the point guard, but he's not listed as point guard. In my opinion. So like, but yeah, like you said, I think it's great for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's that old man pump fake.
Now, speaking of Jason Tatum getting buckets, the Celtics have a new point guard, I would say,
Yeah.
and Malcolm Brogdon, which I think was an amazing pickup
I do think
for
they-
what they had to give up. They basically gave up chips,
Tough.
and that's the reaction of Celtics fans right there.
Exactly. Green light, green light. I like the fact that there's another person who can create in Boston. You know, he's I know he's not the most flashy of point guards. He's like middle point guard. He's not a super tier point guard. He's a good staple, but we need someone else to be able to be dynamic on the perimeter. You know, because after JT and after Tatum, there's
Jalen Tatum.
I was gonna say Derek White, but you know what I'm saying. Like there's nothing else for any creation. And Michael Brogdon brings that at the point guard positions. I actually want to see a lineup of dang it, not that. I want to see a lineup of him, Smart, Tatum at the 4, and what's his face, Rob at the 5. So it would be Brog, Smart. Wow,
I forgot you was playing the game.
I sure did.
It would be Rob. It would be Smart.
It would be Brogdon, Smart,
JV.
Brown, and Tatum at the 4, and then Rob at the 5.
I mean, I think the Celtics did get better. Obviously, they got better from an IQ standpoint because now you don't have to like have the ball in Marcus Smart's hand in the games for him to make a stupid
That
decision.
dumb dude, bro.
And
Come on, that's not a block.
and like I said, for what they gave up Neesmith, I think, and like a second round pick or a first round pick, and for Malcolm Brogdon, that's a really, really great trade.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We don't need that hustle guy on defense anymore. This is not 12th grade.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you think about the trade, James?
I think Malcolm Brogdon is a great pickup. I'm very happy for him just because he could finally play for a contender. I feel like all the teams that he has played for so far, it's only been, if I'm not mistaken, Indiana and Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee was a contender.
Yeah, but I don't think Giannis was even in his prime yet.
I mean, to be fair, bro,
That was a year.
Giannis
That was
won
a year.
MVP. Yeah, that's the year they lost to Toronto. That was last year in Milwaukee.
And it had a specific team to beat him.
Yeah. But I also see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like he's on the team that just went to the finals.
Exactly. So, shout outs to Malcolm. I'm really excited about
Ass nigga, bro.
this is just being Knicks bias, but he's not like the same that he used to be. But I want to see how Gallo plays into that system as well.
I think he's gonna get bought out.
Really? So
Oh no, he's Gallo was on the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see that too.
So
Good
really,
shooter from our team.
somebody that can be really utilized off the bench. So I just want to see how he plays into that
Oh
system.
my god, bro. This nigga is locking me up. This is not the finals, Jason.
Now, speaking of your Knicks fandom, why don't you start us off with who the Knicks signed?
The Knicks signed Jalen Brunson and then Isaiah Hartenstein.
I like Isaiah Hartenstein. I like Isaiah
Isaiah
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein, my boy, came from the Clippers.
Isaiah
I like him
Hartenstein is
I like Isaiah.
Well, talk about Jalen Brunson though.
He's not worth that money. He's a good. They're just again. The Knicks always do this. You just go off of recency bias. You want to pick up players. You want to give them crazy amount of money, and
Yeah, give me that.
and then you see your team crumble based on just the mistakes that are going to be made. Jalen, it seems like he's obviously excited to play for us, but I just need his play to be backed up on the court. I really want to see the reason why he was paid that much, and if he wasn't paid. I mean, it will show on the court if you are worth the money at the end of the day. To me, you're not worth the end of the money.
Well, come on, man. He's your new point guard. Have him fade.
It's a good
nigga.
It's a good pickup. It's a good pickup. I'll say that, but you're not worth
God, do I suck that bad?
$100 million, or was it $104 million or something?
104.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
In my opinion, that was a bit pricey. But you know, everyone's making a lot of money now. To be fair, so it's not the biggest contract. It's not the biggest overpay ever. You know, and he's a really good player, and he's definitely gonna be missed by the Mavericks. But he's not your cornerstone. Like he's not your I signed him, and he's gonna will us to the playoffs type of guy. He's definitely a complimentary piece to you know, hopefully RJ steps up this year, and you know, there's another superstar in Utah that is in trade discussions, and maybe he goes to the Knicks too.
Big ass nigga.
But hey,
Oh my god.
There was this stat online where I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's probably the first player to get that amount of money, and he wasn't even an all-star.
wow. I mean, but like we said, contracts are so big and so much bigger nowadays. It's not like
It's inflated.
Yeah, it's inflated. So
Yeah, but to give him $104
But
million
I
is
think that here's
crazy.
the thing. I think we're looking at the number of like. I think you. Oh, that's crazy. I'm not even trying to do it. I'm used to dribble moves. That's why. But this dude. I think that Jalen Brunson, like, he's a good point guard. Like, he's a good starting point guard, but a solid point guard coming off the bench on championship teams, right?
yeah,
So I think
like he's a good 6 man.
right. So he's like an average tier point guard, you know. And you pay. That's what the going rate is, you know. It's not about what it looks like. If the loaf of bread is going for $4, the loaf of bread is going for sometimes it's $3, sometimes it's $4. But every day, niggas that's in fuck. But you know what I'm saying? So it's. Oh my god. I'm not a good multitasker when it comes to you know,
I hate the dunk, you know.
but I think the standard price for what you're getting from out the cap, and plus is increased this year, and I think it's going to increase.
It's gonna increase next year too.
You know?
I mean, it's gonna increase every year. So 5 years, when his contract is over, we're gonna look at his contract and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's the standard.
But who's next? Next we can talk about.
Gobert for real.
Let's talk about Rudy. I in my opinion, Minnesota got fleeced. How he went for 5 first-round draft picks,
Yeah.
and then you lost Patrick Beverly, who came in this year and really like changed the environment.
They won the championship. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they won that play-in championship. You also lost
Had
Jared
that
Vanderbilt.
man sobbing for you just to trade him away.
Jared Vanderbilt was also a huge factor on the defensive end. You basically lost. I mean, granted, Rudy Gobert is a great defender, but you basically lost 2 of your best perimeter defenders in this trade. And yeah, in Utah, they're fully locked into this rebuilding phase. And I'm just happy that they're doing it now, and they're not waiting another year to run it back. Because, you know, Utah, they really ran their course. And it's going to be interesting seeing Cat play the 4 again, like he did in college.
You played the 4 before?
In college,
Yeah, well,
he was the 4.
So those was the 5.
Yeah, he went to Kentucky. So it's gonna be real interesting seeing him play the 4 again.
now it's interesting to see me get my butt whooped.
What do you think about the trade?
I think the thing with Minnesota, it puts them in a very precarious situation. It's like because it's like Rudy Gobert, he's in the same position again. They trade all their their defensive assets like Beverly and Jared Vanderbilt just to get Gobert. However, what type of barrier are you gonna have towards the basket besides Gobert? You know, so technical difficulties. But you know, like we hope Edwards is gonna be a good defender because we project him in his athleticism. But him taking all those shots, him shooting 10 threes a game, his legs probably ain't gonna serve him to be the best perimeter defender.
Yeah.
And who's the next best perimeter defender on Timberwolves? Prince?
Now, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So the dude who was describing the rebound from Baylor is the best defender on the Timberwolves. And you know, because Cat doesn't give you that much bang inside. Okay, but and their perimeter defense, I think they have to make a really big move in order to really sustain themselves as a viable playoff team, and to really say that this trade is even worth it, because there's no reason. Yes, heavily
traded your defense to get Rudy Gobert.
And I guess that's what you do on paper, but you don't do that when you don't have the pieces to support it.
What do you think, James?
It's going to be an interesting front court, to be honest. Like, I like the fact that those are two, I guess you would say, like, premier big men in our league, I guess. But it's going to be very interesting seeing how that whole system is going to work, just because Rudy being at the 5 and then Cat going back to the 4, I think it gives more freedom for Cat to do more in terms of scoring.
Yeah.
And then it just leaves Rudy to basically get all the blocks and boards at the end of the day. I did find it crappy just because they got rid of Patrick. Just because, as Elijah said, he did bring like a new attitude towards the team. And it really seemed like he was really connecting with Anthony Edwards especially. Jared Vanderbilt, I'm not really too familiar with his play, but I will say he was.
He's locked.
Yeah, he was a really good defender, yeah.
So if you're basically giving up your defense just for somebody who is basically much more taller as a center and everything, and you're only relying on him instead of like all your other pieces that you gave up, Minnesota will eat, their words and their decisions at the end of the day. But I'm just really interested in seeing how this front court is going to work out. And also, Rudy is more, again, he's more defensive minded, so I'm hoping that maybe he can develop more of an offensive game. Not saying that he doesn't have that much offense.
He don't.
Okay, yeah, I want him to at least develop an offensive game, because it seems as if, based on the type of, height that you have and blocking ability and all that other stuff, he can finally go into. He can basically go into deeper areas in regarding just like posting up and doing some other legitimate big man moves, because you got Shaq clowning you and saying that he would basically like. He would basically like eat him up, and I wasn't gonna disagree with Shaq in regarding that type of matchup. So we'll see how this goes.
Next we have John Wall to the Clippers.
Oh yeah.
As a Clippers fan, I am in love with this because it's cheap, first off, and John Wall doesn't need to be the Wizards John Wall that he was. He just needs to be a guy. I'm expecting John Wall to come in and average anywhere between
16.
Yeah, like 14 to 18 points and 6 to 9 assists. If you get that out of John Wall, then that's perfectly fine.
John Wall is fire. Like he
was, but
yeah.
We just gotta. I mean, he had good numbers on Houston the year he played. He averaged 28, but
Dimer, he was a athletic freak. He was a good defender.
But I like what he said in his press conference too, when he was like, "I don't need to be Batman on this team or anything like that. And if the third best defender has to guard me, then best of luck to them." So I really am excited about this as a Clippers fan.
So you got Wall, Powell.
No, the starting lineup. And I think the starting lineup is going to be Wall. Well, it's between Wall and Reggie. They're going to fight it out. But I think Wall's going to win that matchup. So I think it's going to be Wall, George, Leonard, Morris, and Zubac. Yeah. And then Norman will come off the bench with Reggie and Terrence and Nico and Robert Covington. Yeah, I said Nico. That's his nickname. That's for those that didn't know. Oh, I thought I was doing it. For those that when I said Nico, I meant Nicholas Batum. So yeah, I really like this deal. What do you guys think?
I think it's really good because it's low risk, high reward. Because John Wall is, and he's not a dumb point guard. He's not a dumb accelerating point guard. Like John Wall, I've never seen like been the most. I mean, he's led teams, those Washington teams that always get beat by LeBron.
They never played LeBron.
The what's his face?
They never played LeBron.
What about the girl when she had the shocked face?
That was a regular season game.
That was regular season.
Yeah, they never played LeBron in the playoffs.
Okay.
They never even got the chance.
Damn.
They would have lost though. But
They
yeah.
were lost. I thought that was in the playoffs.
Nah, that was a regular season
Oh
game.
man, that's tough.
And that's Bradley Beal's wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey man, she got a front view, but man, but those Wizards teams that always lost, not to LeBron, you know,
They lost to the Celtics their best year.
that was early.
That was 2017. 2017, yeah, they lost to the Celtics. But shout out to Isaiah Thomas. Listen, Isaiah Thomas is hooping too. But yeah, like you were saying about Wall.
Yeah, it's a lowest high reward because if he gets injured, God forbid he doesn't. Well, God forbid that he doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's able to beat the third best defender defensively, add more playmaking to this team, like a real point guard that isn't just a forward trying to create, make themselves facilitate them, force themselves to facilitate. Even though Paul George is becoming a better facilitator. You want John Wall for like a pick and roll partner with Zubac, like different things that you have in the offense can be opened up with John Wall, like an experienced vet. John Wall used to be nasty, man.
Yep.
I'm about to watch some John Wall highlights too when I go to.
John Wall definitely nasty. What you think about James? What you think, James?
They didn't really give up that much. Reggie is still on the team, so I think just having both of those point guards, on the Clippers and such, is really dope. I'm just concerned about John Wall's health at the end of the day. I really want to see John Wall play. A lot of people have, haven't seen John Wall in a minute, so a lot of people are, doubters and such, which is understandable. But when we look at John Wall, like John Wall highlights and such, like he was quote unquote the fastest man in the NBA at one point.
That was prime Westbrook, prime LeBron James, prime like other athletic niggas.
So I also feel happy for John Wall just because he's being utilized, to the best of his ability at this point. Knowing that his situation with Houston wasn't really that good, but I'm glad that both teams were Houston was willing to move on and give John Wall a chance to, go to a different team, and then John can finally start playing basketball. I feel as if, even though all the money that he's been making, he's been doing a lot of business moves I've been seeing off the court, but I know for sure he wants to actually start, playing ball as he should. I just want to see this team really healthy. That way we could see its full potential for the Clippers. Just because seeing Kawhi, Paul George, and John Wall, that potential big three, I want to see what can happen.
I didn't see Kawhi again.
I definitely want to see Kawhi again. But shout outs to the Clippers. Again, as Charlie said, like they didn't really give up that much. It was a really successful turnout for the Clippers this offseason.
Next. Who else is out there? It's somebody else that we're forgetting.
Do you want to talk about Bradley Beal?
Oh yeah, Bradley Beal.
He just resigned, right?
Yeah. But I never want to hear out of Bradley Beal's mouth, I want to win so bad and this and that. Like, it's so, and listen, I don't have no problem with someone getting their money. Get your money. Like, I don't have a care in the world. Like, you have every right to get the money that you're rightfully owed. You put in the work. But like, don't start saying, oh hey, like, I wish they would build a better team around me and I hate this. Like, no, it's okay. That's my feelings of Bradley Beal.
He was clapping at the kid, telling him, "You ain't gonna take a spot because they They paid him. You know, he's
got
secured
that.
I promise you, because. Oh my God! Let's talk about the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving debacle, right? So right after Kyrie Irving and the Nets were at oh my God! Oh my God! So
Appreciate it.
right when they were having their own debacle, they were having their Cuban Missile Crisis standoff. Kyrie Irving proceeds and signs the deal, right? And then right after that, you can pick it first. Right after that, Kevin Durant is like, I want out of here, right? And now there's an arms race all over the league to try to find the best fit for Kevin Durant, as he picks. Now,
Yeah.
no, I was trying to set it up. But I think there's a lot of teams that have a good thing. I think Toronto has a good package. You have to get Scotty Barnes, but
I agree with that. I think Toronto has the best package that you can trade because, based on the reports, you can't trade. You're not going to trade Devin Booker.
no. I mean,
And the Nets aren't going to take anyone but Devin Booker.
oh yeah, you literally can't.
And you can't. And another reason why you can't trade Devin Booker either is because of Ben Simmons and that weird rookie max deal thing, which is another reason why the Warriors don't really have the best option either because they can't trade Wiggins because Wiggins is a part of that max rookie deal contract too.
He's still on his rookie contract.
His max, yeah.
Young.
And you can't trade Bam because Bam is a part of that too. So basically, yeah, like you said, I think that the best trade package is the Raptors. And a sneaky trade package is the Nuggets.
I was thinking about Nuggets too.
Michael Porter Jr., a couple first round picks.
But is MPJ
And yes, he's on the rookie max deal too. Yeah,
That's crazy.
and Jamal I think is too.
Oh,
So yeah, never mind.
It's
KD to the Raptors. Oh, this is me.
KD to the Raptors, but I saw a report that they weren't willing to give up Scotty.
Yeah,
so
they did say that.
that's tough.
I don't even know how can KD still go to Toronto, but then after that, it's like KD gotta suck it up and be like, you know what, I gotta play for this team.
Yeah.
Because
You don't think they can get moved?
no,
I don't see how.
no, no, not at all. I mean,
And
unless
then for the Raptors too, like you said, they're not giving up Scotty. I understand that because as much as yes, I know it's Kevin Durant, but by the time his deal is over, he's going to be 38.
oh yeah,
So it's like
With
you
a
never-
ring.
you don't know if he's going to win a ring in Toronto. I mean, he just got swept on the Nets. So
But it's the Raptors. The Raptors have.
the Raptors have a good team, but like that doesn't mean anything. I wouldn't say the Raptors are better than the Celtics with KD now or Milwaukee.
You would rather have okay, yeah, that's Jalen Brown too.
I'd definitely rather have the Celtics core than the Raptors core. Because you have to think about it, you're not just going to trade Scotty, you have to get rid of more pieces too. And if you're the Raptors, you see a bright future with Scotty.
Who you train to? OG, right? That's
You definitely have to get rid of OG.
yeah.
You're going to lose some picks. They're going to try to get Trent in part of that deal too. Like if you're the Nets, I mean, you better send me everything. Like I don't know if y'all heard what no, when they questioned for Minnesota, they told Minnesota we want 4 first-round draft picks, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards.
That was hilarious.
Which is basically like if you're the Timberwolves, what am I trading for Kevin Durant for then?
Yeah.
Like but yeah, that's the Nets asking price.
Man, that's more than asking.
Yeah, that's like send me the league.
Yeah.
What do you feel about this trade, James?
It's going to be very, very tough for KD to get out of this situation. I wouldn't be surprised if this situation goes even further to the point where it's like he can't even get traded whatsoever. and everybody on the team just has to suck it up and try to coexist with one another. But coexisting can result into a lot of problems just because based on the dynamic everybody has with one another, it's just a really sticky situation. We have Kyrie and Steve Nash going back at it, back and forth. We have Kyrie talking shit to Steve Nash on Twitter. And then we also
talking shit to Steve Nash.
Yeah, on Twitter, just like taking little jabs at him. Just it was just like I don't know if the story was true or not, but Kyrie apparently went to Steve Nash's house and saw both of his MVPs and said he stole you. Okay,
that sounds too crazy.
But it doesn't sound. To me, it sounds crazy, but it doesn't sound too crazy to the point where I'm like, it is Kyrie.
It is Kyrie.
Like he did.
I don't think that. I think that's.
He did say the world was flat.
I think it's a little bit
still, that's OD.
Yeah.
Imagine though, he goes to his house and be like, "Yo, those MVPs don't even belong to you."
Yeah,
that's tough.
We have that going on. What is it? There's plenty of other teams. Like what Woj was just tweeting out, he basically said and talking, he was just basically saying like it's gonna be a package where it's like probably multiple teams are involved.
Yeah.
But I don't see all these teams coming together in a happy medium just to get rid of KD. I hope that KD goes to a place where he is actually happy playing for them, just because when we think about it, Adam Silver, he is going through the rules and such like that. He's basically is not liking the fact that like these players are requesting trades and stuff, and like by the time they get to a team, you know, all of a sudden they probably don't even want to play for them, and then all of a sudden he's just gonna keep on getting fined until, you know, he actually plays. So I just wanted to come to a point where KD is actually happy in the place that he is in, and he could probably ride it out for the rest of his career for that one single team. Because he is getting older, and you know, at the end of the day, I know KD just wants to play basketball, and you know, he even said it like, I'm just a guy that just wants to play basketball, but he's also thinking about his future. He's thinking about his legacy, and yeah. Oh, and I think the Nets are really bugging in regarding just asking for certain players and certain trades. I think it's just kind of stupid.
Nah, I'm be honest, I would do the same thing, bro. If I'm trading Kevin Durant, I'm doing the same thing, bro.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna, you know how like they playing poker basically. Like I'm gonna start high.
Yeah,
just to be like, yo, like if you're not even around this ballpark, don't talk to me.
Yeah, like what are you really trying to do? Like, do you really want KD?
Because I'm not just gonna trade KD for a bag of chips, man. Like, it's Kevin Durant. And then for what the reports are saying is like the Nets are still trying to compete. Like they're not trying to trade KD to rebuild again. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
really tough.
And let's talk about this awful human being by the name of Miles Bridges.
Screw him.
You're a horrible human being. If y'all don't know, he basically beat his wife. Just a disgusting human being who, you know, just ruined his whole career basically, because he was about to get paid too.
They ain't paying him.
After that, he ain't getting paid. This happened like right the day before free agency started.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not getting paid. And I see people posting videos of him working out in the gym, and it's just like, I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's just a terrible human being who just. You know, I think that rap life really got to him, you know?
Definitely.
He started posting pictures of him with drugs, and now he hitting on women and stuff.
What?
Yeah, drinking lean.
No, I mean, yes, that is unbelievable, and you shouldn't be doing that, but I was referring to, yeah.
But he's just an awful human being. He's just an awful human being.
Miles Bridges' friend was like, if Charlotte don't give up the bag, we go to the Pistons. But I don't even think Detroit is going to even make an offer for Miles based on these allegations, and I don't know if any team is really going to touch him after this whole debacle. Like, sure, probably a team is going to take a stab at him, but it's going to be a risk to take. He's a great player at the end of it. He's a good player at the end of the day, but based on your decisions off the court, it comes with the player. So I think also the organizations are taking into consideration about their image. And, you know, if we're really going to sign this guy, is this person going to be dedicated? Sure, I think Miles Bridges would be dedicated, obviously going to the gym and all that other stuff, but all the other antics, his rapping career, Miles, I believe Miles needs to stop doing that. Me being a musician myself, I just find it funny how, well, him being from Detroit and everything, he's sticking to that type of Detroit style, just kind of rapping offbeat, on beat type of thing. And not everybody needs to be a rapper. Miles, just be a good basketball player. You know.
I think it's too late for that.
I like not him as a person.
He's a really good basketball player, but I don't think he's gonna be playing basketball. So
yeah,
I think it's over with.
Do you think it's like over or like?
I think it's over.
And plus, they got the PR thing going on too, because
It's over with, bro.
like Jason Kidd's still alive here, but
Right. So do you think Miles will probably get a contract next year?
In jail,
yeah. He's going to jail.
I think he's going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she
So he's gonna get like okay.
So yeah, I mean, screw him.
I think it's good for the league. Hopefully, this isn't just like what's this? Oh, nice. Performative act. I hope they really reinstate it because like it would serve as disingenuous as someone else was like LeBron James to hit his wife. I mean, it'd be a tragedy. I mean, for more than us watching basketball, the wife's face or the abuse.
But you saw what he did to Isaiah Stewart, and I was like,
LeBron James, man, I agree with all the time in his household, but that doesn't mean he should be, But it's good that the NBA is taking steps in the right direction. Leagues like the NFL just be like, oh, you hate your wife as long as it's not on camera, Do all that type
and
of
if it is on camera, as long as it's not released.
As long as it's not released, that's exactly what they do. And it's really unfortunate. And I think the NBA doing this is definitely the right direction because, women, they're not just like, oh my God, you should protect them. Like, they're people too. Like, I'm not saying they make up half the demographic of the NBA's performance, so we should care about our customers, but, it's not just a in-house thing. It should be taking a component out of it.
And back to the topic of Miles Bridges, Charlotte, you are down bad this off season. You guys are down bad. Well, who was the assistant? Who's the assistant coach for Golden State?
Kenny Atkinson. He said nah.
He took the job and then he was like, nah. After winning the championship, he's like, nah, I'm good here. We actually won something. But at the same time, get your money, Kenny. But Kenny definitely made the right decision. He's like, I'm not gonna coach these guys. Montrez was caught with marijuana.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Is legal where he's from?
The amount he had.
It was just the amount that he had.
Blackout. Yeah.
There was other allegations in regarding just Charlotte, but that was the only one that I can recall at the moment. But they were really down bad this offseason. Even though they got some good pieces for through the draft, but other than that, nah.
Dang, bro, that's tough. That's definitely tough.
All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about is the thing that was actually reported today. Donovan Mitchell. The Jazz are opening trade requests for Donovan Mitchell. So, what do you guys think he's going to land?
Hopefully, this Boston Celtics.
Realistically.
They say New York. They said New York.
A good team for Donovan Mitchell? I think the obvious choice is
Miami.
It's Miami. I ain't even want to say Miami, but that's.
I think that's the betting favorites too.
Well, where does Spider-Man live?
Alright, bro.
What? I'm just asking a question. Where does Peter Parker live?
Yeah, I mean,
Where does Spider-Man live?
There's a fucked up tenement in New York City.
Hey, he said it. Even though the tenement is true, but New York City. I don't know if what assets Utah would take from New York. The only person that I can really think is Emmanuel Quickly, and then maybe Obi, and then
You taking Utah?
yeah, they're taking Obi. But other than that, I don't know who else on the team that you would take. And plus, on top of that, Utah is really thinking about their future, and they're really into the rebuilding process. So you're getting rid of your center, and you're getting rid of your point guard. So I think they're going to look into somebody who's going to be beneficial to replace both of those positions. I don't know if the Knicks. Definitely the Knicks don't have anybody as far as big to give up.
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell, but then New York is gonna have.
I really like that guy that y'all have. Simmons. Sims?
Yeah.
I really like Sims, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I think isn't Jericho on a two-way?
No.
Jericho.
I'm pretty sure he signed to a regular deal now.
Either way, Jericho doesn't really get that much playing time to begin with. So I don't even think that even if they do give up Jericho, it wouldn't be that much of a big issue. But yeah, but I want to see. Hopefully, honestly, I would rather see Donovan with a true contender, and I think Miami is obviously the favorite. But I don't know who do you think they're gonna give up for
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, bye Tyler. Bye
Duncan Robinson.
A bunch of picks.
I gotta be a whole
They said the deal would be centered around Tyler Hero and a bunch of draft picks.
See,
They really want draft picks.
and honestly, it's good just because Tyler is a really good pickup, and I think probably building a team around Tyler. Not saying like he's a savior for Utah, but Tyler being in.
I think a white boy doing works is no cat.
Yeah. No.
I don't think.
I think he's okay. I think he's great when he's great, and 6 man a year, which he is. Yeah, but
I think he's way more consistent than Jordan Clarkson. That's
Yeah,
just really the only
Yeah.
year he was bad, and that's because he was hurt in the playoffs.
okay. Because when the finals, then the finals didn't do that good, right?
No.
But leading up to the finals, he was doing good. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Donovan's going to Miami, and I guess that's a wrap on everything.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yo, did I tell y'all I met him? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Doing TikTok, you like?
Oh yeah, the working out guys.
Yeah, I met him, bro. He was at Laurel. Alright. Well, thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you guys for going for a recap. We're incorporating different things. First you see our faces, then you don't. You see, now you don't, And thank you guys for rocking with us.
This is another great episode, and good night, y'all.
Good night. Have a good day.
Laters.